Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Today I'm going to talk about evolution of the select. Now, a key uh, a key factor or a key cornerstone rather in my work ever since my books Nice Guys and Players first came out in 2000 and really before that in 1999 the real first edition. Um, Very rare. A key component of it was the whole select non select paradigm. And then the breakdown of those paradigms into four categories of men. And, and the key, and people know, I always talk about it. I have people talking about Mr. Goodbar and the Masked Man and all of that. And my work, of course, was based on research, the research of a gentleman I've talked about, Master Yao and Yamache Morris. So, I stand on the shoulder of giants. And, but that was the key thing. Now, I remember, I think it was late 2001 or 2002, I did a seminar with this group of black professionals in the Washington, D.C. area. And it was very lively, very crowded, a whole lot of people. It had to be, I don't know, maybe a couple hundred people in this at this nightclub, right? And we went over scenarios from the book, and we had a good conversation, good arguments, good conversation. There were some disagreements, of course. Some people had different views, but everything was respectful, and it was all in all a good time. Now, I remember whenever I do seminars, I have a game I play. It's called Pick Out the Good Bar. Like, pick out the guy who's got it, who's at that high level, right? And so I picked out one. And he was kind of standing to the side, real quiet. And, after the seminar was over, I was signing books and, kind of mingling. Made my way over to the dude and started chopping it up. And basically, he confirmed for me that I read him quite correctly. And I'll never forget what he said because he heard all the categories and he said, everything you're talking about is really about the evolution. And I knew exactly what he was talking about, but when somebody hits me with something, even if I know what they're going to say, I'm not one of those people who will say, "Oh, I know," or anything. I let them talk because they might add something to my knowledge, and that's usually the case. They add something. They might add that little piece which I wasn't thinking about, and then somebody else might discuss the same general things I know, and then still add another piece. So I always listen. I always listen. I don't need. I don't. I humble myself to hear what someone has to say, even if it's in opposition to what I believe, because they're helping me to evolve, which is what this podcast is about. Anyway, he said to me, he said, it's all about the evolution. You see, you might start out as a nice guy, but then you learn some game and you become a gamesman. Then, as you get your money and stuff together, you get some status, you become that masked man. But then you get to the point you don't really need any of that, and you evolve into Mr. Goodbar. And then, of course, you really evolve beyond that into the real man. Because a lot of people don't realize, because I don't talk about it that much, because it's kind of abstract for many men. But there's a level beyond that. You're not supposed to get to Goodbar and stay there. You're supposed to keep evolving. And that's the whole point of like the evolution of the select. Too many men. One thing I'm seeing this in comments, I'm seeing this in videos. One of the things I'm seeing is that many men, especially many men who might see themselves as non-select or they call themselves lame, which I disagree with. You're not lame, but they feel like that's it, that they're supposed to stay there. And no, if you are non-select, then you know you have some work done. See, too many men think it's all right to stay where you are. It's like, no, I don't care where you are. I don't care if you getting women. If you a guy, you getting a bunch of women, you have not arrived. And this is, I'm gonna explain why I'm saying this. Every human being is either growing or they are dying. They're either moving up or they are moving down. It is very important that a man always strive to be the best that he can be, to be the best version of himself. So you always want to evolve. And it's not about the women. Let me make that clear. You are not evolving into the select for women. That is actually that is actually a benefit of it. It's like you making $1 million and the benefit of it is you can have a nice home or you can get a nice car. Women are just a benefit of you growing to the point. See, when you get to the point where you are the best version of yourself, that means not only physically you're the best version of yourself, but mentally, spiritually. You're doing what you're meant to do in life. When you are at that point, getting women is secondary. In fact, it's easy. They're going to come to you naturally. In fact, you can use it as a barometer of where you are, and that's it. So if you're a man and you haven't been doing well with the women and stuff, forget them for now. Work on being the best version of you. And you don't have to push women to the side. They're going to come. But you want to work on the best version because you're not supposed to stay where you are. Because if you're in a place where you're unhappy, just generally, whether it's about the women, what you're doing for a living, anything, you're not supposed to be happy with that. You're supposed to be evolving. I don't care. You there's no point of like you arrived. I'm gonna put it out there. If you want to think you arrived, I'm gonna take you to a lake and I'm gonna say walk across that lake. And if you can't do that, you haven't arrived. We are all growing. I'm growing. I haven't arrived. I'm still evolving. Even what I talk about, I've talked to some people privately about the direction I'm going, even with this channel. This time next year, if I'm still talking about relationships in the same way, I'm gonna feel like a failure because I'm trying to go beyond that. And I've already started going beyond that on my other site, on my main site. I don't even talk about relationships anymore. I just talk about all about success. That's where I'm gonna get here. A year from now, because of evolution, I might be talking about economics, politics, science, whatever. But the thing I know for sure is I will be talking about just self improvement in general. So the women might be a secondary thing to it. In fact, I'll probably be talking about self improvement to the point and success to the point where I have as many women subscribers as I do men because it's not going to be about relationships at that point, but everybody being the best version of themselves. So when you at a place you want to think in terms of evolving to that best version of yourself and not the next man. You don't want to be like that next man. You're not trying to be like him. You're not looking at him. See, that's one of the reasons why I don't like using that alpha or beta terminology. Every man is an alpha. You want to be the alpha of yourself. You are not, subservient to any man. That man, it don't matter. When you are fighting, like some boxers will say, you're fighting you. You're fighting yourself. I've had a couple detractors and stuff. They'll try to compare me, like on here. A couple commenters, and they probably listening. They try to compare me to some other YouTubers or something. Every now and then I get that, and I'm just like, I don't really care about them like that. Even if I respect their work, because I don't compare themselves. See, I compete with myself. I'm not worried about the next person. I don't look at their numbers. I don't look at their views. I don't look how popular they are. Whenever I do anything, I only compete with myself. I don't compete with other folks unless I'm in an athletic contest with them. And even then, I'm still competing with myself. If I'm playing basketball and I know I scored like 10 points one game, then I'm competing with myself to score 20 the next. Or if I'm playing football and I know I picked off a pass and ran it back 100 yards, then I'm looking to pick off three. I'm challenging myself, you know. And that's how men have to be. You have to evolve. And you evolving for yourself. You're not evolving for that big butt woman. And you're not evolving to, be better than that next man. You evolving to be your best self. When right, nice guy. I'm gonna tell you what. My books, Nice Guys and Players, the whole philosophy. It really is all about evolution. It's all about being the best version of yourself. That's it. Because really, if somebody pick it up just to get women, to be honest, the more you evolve, you actually gonna get fewer women. Because as you become your best version of yourself, you're gonna look for women who are their best versions, and most women aren't trying to evolve. You're gonna be looking for that woman who's really trying to grow too. So that's it for today. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.